Welcome to this guide, which explains how to enable and configure PubNub's Presence feature. Presence is a very flexible and powerful ability that enables you to detect in real time when clients join or leave a channel. For example, you could use Presence to know when a user is online and ready to be invited to a group chat, or you could monitor a remote IoT device and detect when it goes offline. Presence also allows you to monitor channel occupancy. So, for example, if you're streaming to thousands of people, you have a way of tracking who is listening and detecting when they join or leave your streamed chat. Finally, a user can associate some state or metadata with their presence. So rather than just being online or offline, you can know that they're set to Do Not Disturb or have some other custom status. To enable Presence, log into the PubNub admin portal at admin.pubnub.com and select the app and key set on which you want to enable Presence. Toggle the Presence switch in the key set configuration, type Enable in all caps, and be sure to save your changes. As clients subscribe to channels, PubNub will generate join events, which other clients can register to listen for. Every new client who subscribes will generate a new join event, and as clients unsubscribe from channels, PubNub will generate a corresponding leave event. So, by listening for join and leave events, clients can keep track of who is present in the channels and how many subscribers each channel has. But what if a client doesn't unsubscribe and instead disappears for some other reason, like they just close their browser tab or force quit their application? Well, in that case, PubNub will fire a timeout event after about 5 minutes, although some SDKs will allow you to configure this value. If you don't want to rely on the timeout event to detect unexpected client disconnects, you can check the Generate Leave on TCP Finish or Reset setting. This will detect a connection termination at the network layer and report as a PubNub leave event. So, in the case of closing a browser tab or force quitting an application, that would generate a leave event instead of a timeout. So, you might have a client join, then leave, then join, leave. You want to have some way of smoothing out any rapidly changing state caused by network issues or even deliberate action on the part of your user. And that's what the debounce setting is for. It's the number of seconds to wait before allowing a join event to fire after an explicit leave event. As the number of clients subscribed to a channel increases, so does the number of presence events, and it will get to a point where exchanging so many presence messages just becomes wasteful. Again, thinking of that stream to thousands of people, the average user doesn't need to know when every one of those individual viewers goes on or offline. Once the number of clients subscribed to a channel goes above the announce max value, you'll no longer receive join, leave, or timeout events, but instead you'll receive a recurring interval event. How often does the interval event fire? Well, that's what you specify in the interval option, which can be set as low as 10 seconds or as high as 5 minutes. The interval event will tell you for each channel how many people are subscribed to that channel, which might be okay for your use case, but if you want to know who has joined or left the channel since the last update, enable the Presence Deltas setting. Now, for every interval event you receive, you'll have 2 additional fields containing arrays of user IDs who have joined or left. 2 other settings left to mention. Firstly, the stream filtering option. It's recommended to just keep this enabled as there's little benefit from disabling it, but when enabled, it allows you to filter out presence events at the client level. And secondly, the active notice channel. For some use cases, you're not concerned about how many occupants you have in a channel or who they are. You only care whether a channel has active subscribers or not. If a channel has nobody subscribed to it, we refer to that as an inactive channel, but if there are subscribers, the channel is active. Specify a channel name here to receive notifications about channels as their active or inactive state changes. Finally, if you've been using PubNub for a while, you might notice that the webhook settings that used to be here are no longer part of the key set configuration screen. You'll find that same webhook functionality has moved and is now part of our Events and Actions feature. We haven't removed any functionality from the webhooks, in fact we've made them more configurable, but please see our documentation for more information. So I mentioned earlier that you can associate some metadata with the client state. This isn't done through the join event, but it's handled by a separate event called state change. You can invoke the state change event at runtime using any of our PubNub client SDKs, and that event will be received through the same presence event listener that you're currently using for your join, leave, and timeout events. You might use presence state to share some custom property like the user's mood or the fact that they're Do Not Disturb, but presence state is very flexible, and we even use it in our collaboration whiteboard demo to exchange a user's pen movement and colour. Just remember that whatever information you share through present state is not persisted or backed up in any way by PubNub. If you want persistent storage, please use our app context feature. Now, That covers all the events. Clients can join or leave a channel, you can detect their timeout, or you can receive information at regular intervals. You can even exchange state information associated with the client's presence. But what if that's too many events? How can you disable specific events on specific channels, either to manage your network bandwidth or to control your costs if you're using our transaction-based pricing model? In this case, you should use the presence management feature, which is part of BizOps Workspace. This allows you to create rules to define which events you want to receive and specify the channel or channel group that rule applies to using a wildcard pattern. You can even define multiple rules to tailor your solution exactly as needed. That covers PubNub Presence. To learn more, please visit our website at pubnub.com or contact our support or developer relations teams who will be happy to help.